All right, teammates, this is our final Saturday of Team K Strong yoga. And I'm really excited for you to be here with me today because we're going to take some things that we have learned throughout this month with the different yoga sessions that we've done together. So we're still going to keep it a beginner's yoga session, but one of the main things that I want to focus on with you guys is what you're learning and what you can apply moving forward, okay? So wherever that you are, okay, I just want you to start standing, all right? Now, we know different poses by name up until this point. We're going to review some of them. But the biggest thing that I want you to think about when it comes to yoga and the practice that you have is your breath, okay? A lot of the time, we actually operate holding our breath and being super tense. And we don't realize that we do that until we start really focusing on breath work. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start in what's called mountain pose. Some of you may be familiar with this. So what I want you to think about is the placement of your feet initially, okay? And I want you to think about the four corners of your feet pressing into the floor, okay? Now, we're going to bring our hands to our side. Our fingers are going to be wide or spaced out. And I'm just standing tall and strong, okay? And as I focus on this, I want to use imagery to hear and feel my breath. So as I'm inhaling through my nose to begin, I'm like feeling that string pull on top of my head. And as I'm exhaling through my mouth, I'm feeling that shift to the top of my head down to my feet, almost like I'm releasing that down to my feet. So we're going to start here with 3 breaths in the standing mountain pose. Inhaling up, exhaling to release through your mouth. Inhaling up, exhaling to release. Good. Inhaling up and exhaling to release. We're going to go into breath with movement. So arms come up on your inhale, down on your exhale. Maybe have a slight bend in your knees to get warmed up. Again, inhaling up. Releasing, exhale. Last time, inhale up. Exhale to release. We're going to swan dive forward into our forward fold. Okay? We're not coming all the way down to our toes. We're just stretching, falling forward naturally. I want you to grab onto either elbow, holding on each side, and we're just going to rock back and forth. Shifting our weight on each foot. Dropping those hands, we're slowly going to lift. Inhaling up. Stretch our arms tall and strong. Swan diving back down into that forward fold. Fingertips are pointed towards the mat. Slowly lift. One more time, inhaling up. Exhaling to release. We're going to come down to the mat, bringing our left foot back and then our right. We're in a high plank. We're slowly going to lower to the mat, okay? Now what I want you to do is come up into your tabletop, all right? So if I'm in my tabletop, something I'm thinking about is my alignment, all right? So we want to make sure our wrists are in line with our shoulders, okay? Our knees are in line with our hips. So as I'm doing this, I'm focusing on the top of my feet being flat on the mat. And we're going to go into our cat-cow. So as I inhale, I bring my belly button into cat. Bringing that chin tucked in. Exhale to release. My tailbone is lifted. My chin is lifted. I'm looking forward and I have that arch. Okay? So inhaling, coming up. Exhale to release. Inhale in. Exhale. Inhaling again, last time. And exhale. And we're going to come back to center on our tabletop. Okay. What we're going to transition into next is our spinal balance. Okay. So with our spinal balance, we're going to start by just lifting and raising our shoulders, our hands to our shoulders. Okay. And we're focusing on where our core balance is. Okay. So when you think about your tabletop, I want you to imagine something precious is on your back. Okay. So we can't arch it. We're not going to go back and forth because then that whatever that precious thing is, it's going to fall off, right? So we're going to continue to rotate, focusing on that form of our lower back. You're going to feel the weight shift into your each palm, into maybe each side with your knees. Same breath with movement, inhaling to raise those arms forward, exhaling to release. One more time on both sides. Now we're going to involve our lower body. So I'm going to bring my right arm forward just like we did. And I'm going to bring my left leg back. So it's going to look like this. Pointing those toes towards the floor. Inhaling to reach. Exhaling to release. Now what I want you to do from here, we are slowly going to widen our knees, placing our palms forward, coming out of that tabletop into our child's pose. Bringing your forehead to the mat or the floor, and we're going to press off of the floor to sit back into our child's pose. Keeping the same breath here. So that deep inhale to lift, deep exhale to release and sink back into the pose a little bit deeper. Slowly come forward, just shifting your weight forward. We're going to plant our toes into the mat, coming up on our high plank. If you can, I want you to transition into your downward dog. So that means I'm coming back onto the front of my feet. I'm pressing up off the mat, bending my knees, pressing right into the floor. If you need this in a modified, you can definitely do a simple or more so modified child's pose where we're going to press up and push back this way, okay? If we can be on the tops of our feet, pressing down into the mat, that's perfect. You can bend your knees. Walk it out a little bit. Shifting that weight forward back into our high plank. We're going to slowly walk our feet forward. Standing up, okay? I'll turn this way so you guys can see me a little bit better, okay? Now from here, we're going to go into a few more movements with breath work, but the main thing that I want you guys to think about is your placement of your feet, okay? So we started in mountain pose. Mountain pose, I'm standing tall and strong, feeling the four corners of my feet, right? We're gonna widen our feet just a little bit. Toes are pointed out. And we're gonna go into our sunflower and our moonflower pose. So with the first one, we're going to do more breath with movement. So as I inhale, I'm bringing my arms up. As I exhale, I'm coming down, almost to sweep up off of the floor, and coming straight back up. So inhaling, coming up. Exhaling to release. Stay here, same breath, same movement. Stretching up, getting your body warmed up. Last one right here. I want you to finish in your star pose, okay? That star pose is arms shot up, fingers are spread wide, straight up, literally like a star, okay? Now with our moonflower, or sunflower, excuse me, we're going to come into our pose in a squat on the inhale this way, and then exhaling to release, shooting that star up, okay? So as we inhale, we're coming down. Exhaling, release up, bringing those elbows in. Exhaling to release. Continue to go at whatever pace you're comfortable with. Last two right here. Good. Now what I want you to do is you're going to turn your left foot towards the long edge of your mat or right out in front of you, okay? We're going to rotate our right foot towards the short edge of our mat, okay? Or as if you were going to turn towards your right side, we're going to go into warrior one, okay? So with warrior one, we're going to make a slight shift towards our right foot, going into that lunge. And as we do that, our arms come up overhead, okay? Going into our warrior one pose right here. Again, same breath with movement. Deep inhale through your nose. Exhale to release through your mouth. Stay here for 2 breaths. Slowly lower your hands. Come out of that lunge. You're going to rotate your feet forward. And again, we're going to go to the opposite, okay? So now I'm shifting towards my left. I have my right foot straight towards the long edge of my mat. I have my left foot towards the short edge of my mat. Okay, I'm going to twist towards my left. I'm going to slowly, as I bend that left leg, my arms come up and I go right back into my warrior one. Two breaths here. Slowly coming up, I want you to turn. We're going to turn our feet towards the long edge of our mat, facing forward. Inhaling up. Exhaling to release. We're going to go into our standing straddle split. If you want to widen your feet a little bit more, you absolutely can, whatever's comfortable. Remember, the most important thing during your practice is giving yourself permission to do whatever your body needs, okay? Whether that's your breath work, whether that's letting go of competition, judgment, fear of not getting it right, this practice is what you make it, okay? Now we're slowly going to bring our feet in together, just walking our feet in. We're going to slowly lift all the way up, inhaling up overhead, exhaling to release. One more breath, inhaling up, exhaling to release. Now I want you to separate your feet similar to how we just did, okay? But instead of shifting that foot and keeping this foot straight, we're going to bring that back foot at an angle, okay? And as we lean in towards our right side, our arms are going to go up parallel to our shoulders. We're going to go into warrior two. We're going to lean forward into this warrior two pose, keeping your chest up, okay? Doing your best to focus on a neutral spine, straight spine, okay? We're not hunched over, but we're just relaxing into this position. Same breath with movement. Last one right here. Back out of this one. We're going to go into our triangle pose from here before we go to the other side. So our triangle pose is essentially slightly bending that right knee. We're going to bring our hand to the ground, meeting that hand where it is. We're going to lift with our left side up overhead. And as I do this, I'm going to look up at my left hand. Take note of your breath. Slowly bringing that left hand down. We're going to drop that left knee. Top of our foot is placed right into the mat. Relax the lower part of your knee to your foot. We're going to go into a runner's lunge. So we have a deep lunge on our right side. Our left leg is straight behind us. Now slowly twisting, we're going to bring our right arm up, twisting up overhead, looking at our right hand. Take note of your breath. Check back in as you need to. Reset if you need to. Give yourself permission for whatever that you need right now. All right, slowly lower that right hand. We're going to come up out of this lunge. And what I want you to do is straighten that right leg. We're going to point that toe up. And I want you to hip hinge forward, so just bending at the hips, whatever is comfortable for you, okay? If maybe you get this straight, maybe coming right here is where you need to be, stay there. Maybe you want to bend a little bit more forward, whatever works for you. We're going to stay here for 2 breaths. Slowly lift. We're going to come up off of the mat, planting both of our feet back where we started. Now rotating our left foot to the left side. Our right foot is going to be rotated at an angle. Arms come out like a T, just like we did on the right side, into that warrior 2 pose. Same breath. Deep inhale through our nose and exhale through our mouth. Slowly come out of this. We're going to rotate to our left side, dropping that right knee. Okay, I'm going to bring my left foot out just a little bit farther to lean into that runner's lunge, coming down, placing my hands on either side of my left foot, holding this here. Lower part of my right leg from knee to heel is relaxed. Now twisting to bring my left arm up overhead. I'm going to look over my left shoulder, up to my left hand. Bringing this right back to center. I'm going to lift up from this runner's lunge, pointing my toe up towards the ceiling or up towards the sky, wherever you are. And again, hinging forward with whatever is comfortable. If you feel a tightness and you want to back off a little bit, again, you get to give yourself permission for what you need right now. It's not about competition. It's not about judgment. It's not about fear of failing in this. It's just giving your body the time to practice this however that you need to. All right, so we're slowly going to bring that foot in, using your back toe, bringing your feet forward. We're going to start back in the midpoint of our mat. We're going to reconnect back into our mountain pose. Reconnecting means also reconnecting with your breath. So inhaling up and exhaling to release. We're going to stay here for 2 more breaths. Now we're going to go into what is called chair pose from here. So I start in my mountain pose, and as I inhale, I'm going to lift my arms up into a chair position. And I'm going to exhale, standing back up. So inhaling, coming up. Exhale. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhaling up. Exhale to release. Inhaling up. Exhaling. Last time. Inhaling up. Bring your palms together. Come to heart center. We're going to twist over to the left side. So that right elbow comes to your left knee. Reconnect with your breath here. Coming back to the middle. Standing straight up. We're going to reset. Arms coming up overhead. Exhale to release. Going back into our chair pose. Palms come together. Down to heart center. Twisting over towards the right with that left elbow. Slowly coming back to center. Standing straight up. Inhaling, arms come up. Exhaling to release. One last time. Inhaling, arms come up. Exhaling to release. Now we're going to go into our tree pose from here. So with this tree pose, there are multiple ways that you can do this, multiple positions, whether you want to bring, this is a single leg balance pose. So if you want to bring your left foot more towards your ankle, to your calf, to your knee, to your thigh, whatever that you choose, I normally recommend just placing it right on your calf. We're going to bring our hands to heart center. We're going to focus on our single leg balance right here. If you want a little bit of an extra challenge, maybe this is easy for you, try closing your eyes. It's a whole different ball game. But ideally, if you need to take a moment and then reset and come right back at it, you absolutely can. 2 more breaths here. Release. Shake out that right ankle. Now we're going to shift our weight into that left foot, bringing our right foot to our left calf or knee or ankle, whatever that you're comfortable with. And we're going to continue our breath work here. Last breath. Now dropping that right foot, again, we're going to twist that left ankle. Now I want you to place your palms out in front of you. We're going to do some rotations coming inside of our midpoint. Okay, so I'm wrapping my hands towards the middle. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the outside. Almost like I'm making like an outside circle. Okay. Now we're going to finish in some seated poses. So from here, we're going to slowly come back down to the mat. We're going to come back into tabletop. We're going to go right back into child's pose for 3 breaths here. So pressing off of the mat, bringing those hips back, chest down, forehead down. All right. Come out of your child's pose. Go into a seated position. We're gonna go into our staff pose, which is simply, we're focusing on a neutral spine. We have our hands lightly placed next to our side for stability, drawing our knees in towards the floor or the mat. Just holding myself upright here, focusing on how I'm contracting, bringing those knees in, contracting my quads, targeting those a little bit more. Now we're slowly going to shift our weight forward. We're going to slowly lay back flat. And one thing that I want you to think about with this next one, we're going to go into knees to chest. We're going to do it single leg first, and then we're going to go into both. So targeting your lower back to contract your core, contract your abs into the mat. I want you to focus on just bringing up one leg at a time. Your foot stays straight, bringing that knee toward your chest. Same practice, inhaling as you lift, exhaling to release. Good. Now we're going to bring both feet up, toes pointed to the ceiling at the same time. We're going to grab behind our knees, and we're going to hold here, making sure to press the lower back into the mat, into the ground, the floor, wherever you are. If you want to slowly shift or roll side to side, you can, or just stay right in the middle. Both are good. Now we're slowly going to go into happy baby. So think of a groin stretch as you are laying down on the mat. And if maybe this is all you can do to hold this position as your hips are more lifted, it's up to you. Happy baby is essentially extending those feet up overhead so we can see how flexible we've gotten over this month. We're just going to hold it here for 3 breaths. Slowly bringing those heels together. I want you to use your hands to help you lift all the way forward. We're going to finish with our groin stretch, okay? Now in a seated position, we're going to bring the bottoms of our feet together. We're going to grab the tops of our feet right next to our toes. I'm not leaning forward on this. I'm still staying straight up, but I'm bringing my feet into that midline as much as I can handle. 3 last breaths right here. Perfect. Now as we finish this, I'm going to wrap this up for us, but something I want you guys to think about if you have time towards the end of this practice is just resetting as you lay back on the mat. So when you think about resetting, I simply want you to place the back of your palms on the floor right next to you or on the mat. And you're going to relax your entire body, but just focus on hearing and feeling your breath. Take note of how you feel at the end of this practice. Take note of where your mind was, how you can connect to breath work right here, right now to finish this off, especially if this is the start or the end of your day, either beginning or ending with positive intention. It's the best thing you could do for yourself. We have hit our time limit, but I encourage you, if you want to pause me and you want to stay there for as long as you need to, just try not to fall asleep because it can be a relaxing pose. I want you to place the top of your palms right on either side of your knee. We're going to finish with 2 breaths here, 1 last one to finish this practice. Inhaling up. Exhaling to release. Last one. Arms are coming up. Hands come together. Back to heart center. Namaste. Most people say yogis, or you know, all of the peaceful terms of things. But friends, I'm excited that you finished this with me. I hope that you give yourself peace. I hope you give yourself serenity. I hope you give yourself love today, and just appreciate the body that you have, the health that you have, and what you are able to do with it. I would love for you to share inside of our Team K community, especially on a Saturday, not just on the accountability post, but on a post in general. Share that you joined in with me. Share your thoughts, share a selfie, share whatever that you would like to inspire more people when you share your journey. So for me to you, with love, namaste. Have an incredible weekend. And I will see you guys on our Sunday team call tomorrow. Thanks, guys.